Nearly won in the grand finals, went all the way to a reset with Acno winning in the end, but Simple's usually up there to challenge Acno. Not to mention that the winner of this match that's just begun in game number 1 is going to be fighting against Acno in the lower quarterfinals. So FryDasOle is going to have to take out the 2 winningest EU singles players in the tournament to be able to progress, and that would be quite a feat. And we've seen things of similar caliber in bigger regions like North America with Java, right? We were calling him the God Slayer because of how many of the top players he was taking out in a row in one championship. Yep. Maybe FryDasOle is on a similar level. Here, as we're seeing him go against Machete with the orb.
But here's the problem, though, because he has to get through Machete first, and we've seen Machete end so many people's hopeful runs. Usually when it's like, okay, I've got a bead on like the usual grand finalists, Machete just puts a stop to that. He plays so differently from everyone else that I don't know. I had a pick for Blaze to do really well this tournament, but Machete in past events has kind of stymied him out, and we see it just here in the first minute. FryDasOle's momentum has been stopped. Machete is that rock golem wall in front of him.
And to highlight the statement you made of Machete playing so differently compared to other players in EU is the fact that he is opening up a core for game number 1, right? And that is in itself pretty cool to see.
Unusual pick.
So, going into this game 1 on Demon Island, Machete was able to take the first stock with a side sig on the gauntlet, switches back over to the hammer, and FryDasOle with the sidelight side air takes that stock off and evens things up 2-2.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing because, you know, we've got a little bit of matchup of the immovable object versus the unstoppable force. Core, incredibly high defense. He is a golem. Whereas the Enchantress here, tons of power. You said there's a lot of strength on that scythe, a lot of strength on the orb, so you're dealing a lot more damage and force than you usually do with those string-based weapons.
Yes, indeed. And we saw that Sidelight Cider knocking out a respectable amount of damage earlier on. FryDasOle was trying to go for the dodge down read with the gravity cancel Sidelight, but Machete, wary of the options that orb players like to take. Oh, wow. Okay, fighting back on arms.
That Haymaker is doing work today. What is going on in EU?
It is. It's just, it must just be a Demon Island special. Like there's when I think about it, there's very little platform in general for this stage to run to, right? And the side sig unarmed, it lasts so long, is so powerful, and catches a plethora of landings that
especially
you might
if
as well
dash into it. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh wait!
Oh wow! Wow!
Huh.
FryDasOle also just manages to stall long enough to get that dodge back. And
that's interesting.
I thought they were both going to fall.
I feel like something was misinputted, whether it was a jump or a dodge, and FryDasOle started ground pounding way too soon, but the chaos ended up securing the stock for him anyways. So now here we are again, dead even, game number 1 between the Enchantress and Core. Machete with the hammer, opening up that cider, trying to hit FryDasOle away. The side sig misses, but does not get punished. And that falling cider will put FryDasOle in a great position for an edge guard as he puts out the orb down air. 1 hits, the second one does not, and the sidelight punishes. Really close game so far. Machete bringing the damage back to even. Oh, as that stop cider hits.
I mean, that's the thing. If they just trade back and forth, Machete will come out ahead because, you know, he doesn't have the most force in the world, but it's enough, but he has those big weapons.
Yeah, he does, and now he's in a scary position where that side sig is looking real good. He might go for the neutral sig as well. FryDasOle going really high. Doesn't punish the weapon spawn. Goes in, but no, the down air catches Machete, but he didn't use his recovery. Can he dodge up? He cannot. FryDasOle with game number 1 secured off of a really well-placed down air, just catching him off guard. And I was just as surprised as Machete was. I thought Machete had plenty of time to wait in the air, maybe put out a side air before using the recovery, but he just got caught off guard.
Yeah, and man, just to tell how close that match actually was. I mean, look how close they were in both of these last 2 clips, but only 13 damage difference between them both for the game.
Oh wow, yeah, there's very small damage differentials between these last 2 sets that we just cast. It was very similar between Viper and 720 as well. Game number 2, Apocalypse. A little bit more room to recover this time around. Let's see how that's going to help Machete as he's already opened up quite strong with the gauntlets. We're trying to go for the down light, but the down air from orb hits. Oh, weapon through to cover his head, and he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, surgically placed ground pounds. 2 of them right in a row, catching the dodge no less. That's GG.
That's such a meta adaptation from Machete to
Do it
wait
again?
for the orb weapon throw up. That's why that edge guard was able to work out. He hit everything at the gauntlets, and a gauntlet player I know will just want to keep punching them, keep pummeling them. But he waited in the air, no fastfall, nothing, for the orb to finish rising and falling before the next ground pound hit, and FryDasOle couldn't make it back to Apocalypse's short walls, and Machete continues extending this lead.
Yeah, and I mean, what a lead it has turned into. He's lapped FryDasOle in stocks. Is this? No.
Nice.
All right, yeah, he thread that needle so incredibly well, just skating right by. Perfect dodge up through the corner.
Yeah, a benefit that Apocalypse provides for characters that have those very strict recoveries is that you can ride the slants of the walls underneath. Sure, you can't get your wall touch back on them, but if you use the gauntlet recovery into them, you'll slide up while avoiding the risk of, say, a weapon drop.
Yep.
And it was well done by Machete there. And now look at this. Machete on the verge of a 3-stock in game number 2 after losing game number 1. A huge momentum swing as FryDasOle does not get a strong hit of that scythe recovery. And the unarmed recovery is not even nearly enough.
Yeah, we'll see that people try and ride those recoveries on the corner. Oh, the side air, taking the first stock off. Still 2 to cut through if FryDasOle is looking to bring this back. But yeah, a lot of people, they try and ride those recoveries around the corner because, you know, it gives you a little bit of safety. You can get some of the earliest hits that you're afforded, but it is a solid piece of geometry, so it will kind of split you and your target.
That was very brutal game 2. And it was all up the left side of the map. Machete playing both well with the gauntlets and hammer to take down FryDasOle's stocks earlier than expected. And we're seeing that here in these highlights. Left side of the stage, 1 weapon throw, recovery. Oh, man, that's the second time that Machete has wildly impressed me with his ability to wait and watch how his opponent is choosing to mix up their recovery and punishing them at the very last moment. Did it with the gauntlet ground pound on stock number 1 and did it with the hammer recovery on stock number 3. We're going to game 3 with the set evened up 1-1, and the scenery changes once again to Miami Dome, and we don't have the same benefit that we had in Apocalypse for gauntlet recoveries here this time. That means that if FryDasOle throws a weapon down, you're going to be bonking your head under the side of the stage if you try to dodge underneath.
Yeah, dangerous. Oh my gosh, just catches the dodge once again. Hammer ground pound. What? There's 2 of them, and it caught the recovery. Slide kick to ground pound. How many more is it going to take? 1 more. That's right.
That's gorgeous. Machete
0
is
to
on
death,
fire.
20 seconds.
That was amazing, and that was after 4 consecutive ground pounds, 2 hammer ground pounds, 2 unarmed, and always getting the down like ground pound, and then catching the return with the hammer neutralite. FryDasOle is fighting back to get the stock to even things up, but that weapon throw came through. I think he was trying to force a dodge, maybe to get a ground pound right again, but Machete on court is just devastating off stage. Look at that.
That was perfect. That was perfect placement of that recovery. Machete had him dead to rights. There was no dodge left. He had the angle lined up for the ground pound. That was the only option that would have gotten FryDasOle back to the stage.
Yeah, nice adaptation for FryDasOle because they had to make those adaptations. They want to stop losing these stocks as an orange on the left side of the stage, trying to use the platform to his advantage and instead of getting hit by the recovery. And now Machete putting out the end sig on the gauntlets and into the nair on the hammer. That's another stock, and this is looking grim for FryDasOle.
Yeah, Machete has really just kind of honed in on what it takes. He's like, all right, you're going to do this. I'm going to just leapfrog over and answer. He always has the next answer lined up, and that's turned into working on a 3-stock once again.
Oh, no.
Okay. Thanking your lucky stars that Machete's toss went a little bit wide of that corner. Because, man, that would have been disastrous.
Ooh, okay. Unarmed nair for the edge guard knockout. And yeah, I talked about it a little bit earlier. When you hit your head at the bottom of Miami Dome, there's nowhere for you to escape. You have to go back to the wall on the side that you're at. You can't go underneath the stage. And Machete just missed capitalizing on that and getting the 3-stock. But there's still a lot of work for FryDasOle to do, and this is a good start. Downer didn't hit. Ground pound avoided. 1 downer hits. Recovery hits as well. Machete, can he make it back? Downer hits. I think that's it.
Ooh, stomps.
Oh, all right, FryDasOle. I mean, I got to remind myself that the score is 1-1. This is a pretty close set. Machete was running away with the momentum, but FryDasOle could just as easily take it back, and that ground pound was amazing off an amazing edge guard from the scythe as well, and FryDasOle seems to be capitalizing on this weapon as well. Down there.
Oh, Fry catching the dodge. Going for a ride.
Side section coming out. That one
Slide's
actually hits.
so good at guarding the corner.
Weapon throw down, gets the spot dodge, but the dodge is a much lower cooldown on ground than it is in air. One neutral light hits. Let's see if FryDasOle can get another side light starter. Machete has been taking only damage, and that's the first bit of damage that he's hit back.
Yeah,
Stop
this is
side
crazy
air.
just how much of a lead Machete had, and Fry was able to bite into it completely, and once again, we're neck and neck.
Yeah. Switching over the orb now. I am a little hesitant to see how he's going to be able to do with that one for the side light down stick. Reeve the down air hits point blank. Bouncing it off in the right fashion. Oh, he gets right behind the down stick as he casts it. Machete doesn't want to go for anything too risky off stage. We're seeing the ground pounds come out a lot less.
The
clash of the stairs. Oh, man. It's who's going to get their combo starter first? Is it Fry with the side lights? Or is it Machete with the down light? Oh, Machete gets the stop
Down
there.
light!
Nice.
You ever see a suit of armor on a motorcycle?
I just did.
Machete is going to
did.
show it to you every single time.
Yeah. Man, he is.
Yeah, all right, so this, to start off the game, absolutely insane. What a highlight.
Yeah, down like ground. I think he gets another one right here, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Does it again. Woo. We see that side air knockout, 3-1, and at the very end, FryDasOle worked so hard to get back, but that was that situation where it's like, when tensions are high, you are one player's on hammer, the other one's on orb, and you're both at a point where your side light sayer or D light side air is going to get the knockout. It's just who's going to get that combo starter first. And Machete happened to get the landing there, got the win, and now is in a match point situation where only one more win will give Machete the progression to fight against Acno in the lower quarterfinals. Meanwhile, FryDasOle has to win 2 games in a row to stay alive. Where are we going for game number 4? Because so far every stage has been different.
Ooh. I don't think you run that back to Miami Dome. Yeah, there's the ban.
Wow, these are crazy options left open. Enigma, Great Hall, and Crystal Temple.
It's platforms.
I'm willing to say that it's the Great Hall if it were FryDasOle's decision, but because it is Machete's, I'm thinking we're going to Crystal Temple just because we get those edges that are working so well off of his offstage. He's been winning offstage more often than not, whereas the Great Hall, I like Scythe a lot more because of those platforms on the side to catch people off guard with nairs and down airs and bring them closer to the blast zone than they might like. It's a tough decision for sure, and we can see Machete's really thinking about it.
Gotta weigh all the options. Because, you know, it's really just he wants to win this game. He wants to push through because this is lower bracket.
Yep. And it looks like it is the Crystal Temple
you're
pick.
going home.
So Machete on the same wavelength as me. Maybe the reasons are different, but I like this map because of how well he's been doing off stage with the ground pounds both on Hammer and Gauntlets, and because Hammer and Gauntlets recover so similarly, it really benefits from the slant on the bottom of the stage because they'll just continue riding up it until they get to safety. So good start from Machete so far as we're in game number 4.
Oh, and continuing the weapon starve, Fry taking so much damage.
Yeah, sidelight recovery, able to hit automatically due to that dodge being down, and Fry coming back in, trying to fight his way for a weapon, and it spawns, but after taking a boulder to the face.
Yeah, I don't know how that trade kind of works out. Boulder to the face sounds pretty rough.
Yeah, well, it is rough as we see Fry's damage is quite high. Not high enough, though.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Gravity cancel neutral sync, gets the weapon throw, picks up the side, doesn't get the recovery right afterwards. The down air dodge by Machete in place. It doesn't get the shotgun blast. Machete. Oh, he just grab punches the center of the stage. And the neutral sync hits. Doesn't get the spike, but he punches him away. Is this going to be the stock with the sidelight? He has no dodge, but he doesn't get the neutral sync. And now it is very close for this first stock. They're both throwing weapons left and right.
The breakdance?
The breakdance to finish it off. And that, you know what? Optimal coverage unarmed on Crystal Temple specifically.
That's right.
That wall is super tiny.
Yeah, Machete, I definitely agree with you. The thought process probably was keep him to those small walls because it's been working out so well. So many ground pounds, so many checkmate moments.
Oh, and that neutral light catches him on low jumps. Oh, I was surprised Machete didn't want to risk going to the stage there. All Fry had left was a dodge, but working it out, gets the weapon throw to stop the side stick, no dodge, so a free side air, and that down air's not going to have enough knockback to punish him even at that high amount of damage, and Machete fakes going for the weapon, gets back to the stage, and continues living, and that will do it.
Yeah, he just ricocheted out of there. How much damage do you need for a side air to knock out on that upward angle, too?
Yeah, that was a lot of damage is the answer. I don't know exactly, but
Roughly a lot.
Roughly a lot. Neutralite Nair, side air, great string from FryDasOle. Machete picking up the gauntlets, gets the Nair off the side of the stage. The ground pound's not going to connect, and Fry with that downlight tries to get behind him with the Nair. But Machete cleverly dodges and no recovery. Okay, Fry.
Machete again. You know, that's twice now that he's opted for the consistency and the stability of staying on stage versus pressing an off-stage advantage.
And it worked out in his favor because Fry was covering his head with that scythe, and I don't think he was in a position to weave around it like we saw in game number 2. Machete dodges the down air. Machete doesn't get the neutral stick grounded. Picks up the hammer instead. Stomp cider will almost definitely do it. Not even a stomp required. One stock away from Machete to win this set and move on to the lower quarterfinals.
Machete with the weapon advantage, but Fry sneaks around behind him, tags him for a bit of damage, and gets the dodge read for even more.
Oh, he went super deep for recovery. Wow, that came close too. Side sig misses. Just a tap. Neutralite catches him on the ground as well. Whoa! Ground pound came close. Machete has done a beautiful job against Fry with the neutralites on hammer, catching his landing right as he tries to get back to the stage. Side air catches him on those jumps as well as an end sig. Yes, but Fry jumping all the way up. But as long as Machete goes unpunished with those neutral sigs, I say use them as much as you want, no matter how much they whiff.
Oh, absolutely.
Accuracy does not go towards your total points when winning in Brawlhalla. All that matters is that you hit them once. It doesn't matter how many times you miss.
Especially because you get to use that as a bit of conditioning, too. You make them constantly think about that option.
Wow. Neutralite on orb knocks out. FryDasOle is getting some unique knockouts.
I feel like their damage has to be fairly close as far as like total numbers go. It's just Fry has been only finding his knockouts so incredibly late, whereas Machete has been much more efficient.
Machete no dodge. Fry dipped too low. Weapon throw into recovery forces him out, and that's it.
Grip it and rip it. Done. Yeah,
Great
look at that.
job.
There,
yeah,
just like a 70 damage difference, but you know, FryDasOle was so far behind as far as stocks are considered. That's just because he was only scoring his knockouts so incredibly late. Machete managing to stay away from all the big, heavy-hitting attacks and just find his own.
I mean, and we talked about it too, right? It was like Sarah upward angle on Scythe and Orb Neutralite were moves that ended up knocking him out in that game number 4. Well played by Machete, really dominant performance, adapted well in the core, now has probably his toughest matchup in the entire bracket if he can surpass it, going up against Acno in the lower bracket.
I do have to give a big congrats to FryDasOle.